So that's why, and then 50 years later, I really should make sure I'm on that path still, which I
Yeah, and
believe
I
I.
think I think with your experience, you can always give us some tips and ideas how to get to 82,
Well,
still
80,
healthy, still smiling,
it's
still active.
it's easy. Just keep waking up every day. That's all.
Okay.
If you keep waking up every day, you can make it to 82. I don't even think about it, to tell you the truth. All I think about, boy, 82. That means I don't have a whole lot left. I mean, before you think it's infinity, but when you get 82, but you know it's not infinity when you're younger. But,
Yeah.
but at 80, and I'm healthy and things like that, well, I sort of think now, well, I maybe have another 10 years, if I'm lucky, And so that's why when somebody says, "Oh, I'm sorry I didn't get back to you," or something, that's okay. I got 10 more years. Yeah, you call me when you
Yeah,
can.
it's good. It's
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
It's good. Yeah. So even before we go into it, do you? Well, I was trying to read, and just like I have mentioned, do you also have like things to do with the international? Do you have international grants and things like that?
Yes, it's for people to do things overseas, but not as much. It's mostly the government money. I concentrate on government money and local nonprofits, and
Okay.
they're mostly to do things here. So if you're located here, but the philosophy of getting information and getting money, that's why I think maybe your audience, or even the struggle to get through things. I mean, how I started may be interesting too. I mean, I had no money, no nothing. Bootstrapped everything to do, and I think most of us have to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that can, just as you're saying, that can be common to
Right.
every market. So if you share that with the people
Yeah,
from
exactly.
all corners of the world, it can be helpful to some people.
Yeah, I would think so, but I'm biased,
Yeah,
so don't
we
trust
can
me.
share those ideas,
Yeah.
and we hear your story, and then
Right,
you never know who the episode is going to
exactly.
reach.
But if I ever get boring, you just say, "Oh, we got the internet went down. I'll talk to you later."
I don't think you're ever boring. Now, to let you know that I have been watching a bit of your TikTok.
Oh, I see.
You have quite a following. You're very vibrant, and so I'm not looking for some time to get boring. I'm excited at what is going to come up as we keep moving.
Great.
Yeah. So I titled our episode "How." Oh, I almost said hot. It's supposed to be dumb.
I'm ready anytime you are. Yeah.
Okay. So okay. Get. So my episode usually goes for half an hour.
That's fine. Anything you want.
Yeah, so half an hour. So once
I hear a little background. Is that me or not? No, I don't hear it now. Okay.
You don't?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's see what unfolds as we get into. So sometimes we have, because it's going to be live on my Facebook. Sometimes we
really
have
good.
people. Yes.
Yeah.
Sometimes we have people. And by the way, you can go live on your part 2 if you
Okay.
want.
Great. No. Yeah.
No.
No, I have. I'm live on YouTube doing this with you, but not
You're
you.
live on-
Yeah, but just me. So
that's-
my YouTube people will watch me talk to you.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So I think we get going, and then we are going to see where we head. But I
Good.
believe we are going to have a
Every
wonderful
day
time.
is like that.
So let me take you off the screen, introduce the show,
Okay.
and then we get going. Just a minute. So I'll go live, I'll play an intro clip, and then I'll bring you back on once I introduce the show. Okay, here we go. Going live. Hello everyone who's tuned on to our, so everybody, how are you? I hope you're doing good. This is Anthony, and it's yet another time that we get to speak, to have a guest, to hear something from someone who has a lot of experience in different areas of life. But today we have a special guest. For those of you who've been tuning into our shows, you've always encouraged us to keep on bringing guests on here to share with us their insights. Today we have a special guest. His name is known as Matthew Lesko. Matthew, for 4 decades, has been helping people to get government grants. That's in the US. And he's going to tell us how he's been doing that, what the experiences that he's had. And he has so much more to share with us. And I don't want to take one more minute just to keep going. I want us to go and meet Matthew in a second. But before we get into it, let me remind you, this is Now Tell Us podcast at nowtellus.com. And I'm your host, Anthony Mwerore. And now let's officially go into the podcast. Here we go. Welcoming Matthew to the show. Hi, Matthew.
Hi, so I'm in now? Am I in the podcast now?
Yes, you're in the podcast. You're in the podcast
Well,
right
this
now.
is what it's like to be in the podcast. I like to be in the podcast.
Yeah. Good to see you.
Well, you feel that the connection is so good. You look like you're next door to me. Yeah? And we're halfway across the world. Yeah. That's amazing.
This is the wonders of the internet.
Yeah, it's just phenomenal. I mean, I think my grandparents were immigrant coal miners in Pennsylvania. You know, and to think that that's where I could have been if they didn't move.
Okay.
Yeah. But that's
Wow,
great.
that is good. Where are they originally from?
I grew up in Pennsylvania, in a state in the United States, northeastern Pennsylvania, and like my grandparents immigrated and settled in Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania, which was coal mining back then. No more coal mines now. And my dad had a little factory, manufacturing. He and another guy and a partner, and they made baby clothes. And I worked in that factory as a kid. They had me slave labor at eighth grade, I remember. Summer, I had to work in the factory. Oh, I hated that so much. All my friends were in the swimming pool and things like that. And I hated working like I think I just hate being told what to do is really what it boils down to. And I hate it. So I said myself, I'm never going to work in a factory.
Not many kids like being told what to do.
Right,
That's
exactly.
why we get that. Now, and I'm also curious now. You talk about how, with baby clothes and things like that. I'm curious to know, because I've seen that, and I don't know the person who is seeing you for the very first time. You have a very shiny costume on, and this is your trademark. Please tell us about that. Did it come from there or from somewhere else?
I'm a clothes horse. I always been, even as a child, as much as I could be in a little coal mining town. But no, I was always fascinated with clothes, and then I started business to business. I mean, I graduated from college, barely got through college. There was a draft where we had a Vietnam War there, and so at my age they were drafting you, and so I joined the Navy for 3 years, got out of the Navy, went back to school, got an MBA, and in computers back in the 70s, started businesses that were failing, and then I got a business to business. So I was like a consultant to rich companies and doing research for them. And so you had to dress up, and I sort of enjoyed dressing up. But I always had something in my soul that I saw something as a child. A person had a suit on with the logo all over the suit. And that impressed me. God, that looks cool, yeah. So then after every business I had as a professional was in information. And my mission in life was, after the oil embargo back in the 70s, we ran companies before then and just worried about what's going on inside the company. We didn't have to worry about outside. And then when the oil embargo happened and every business was brought to their knees because of some little country halfway around the world nobody knew of, at least here in the United States, because of the oil embargo. So I said, companies have to worry about what's going on outside their business, not inside their business. So I wanted to start, and I was a computer geek at the time, I wanted to start an information system to tell organizations what's going on outside of their companies. And so you had to dress up like a normal business person. And since then, it's always been information oriented, and I still am, and it's 50 years more later. But I had this inside me, dressing up. There was something in me that I just had to bring out. Actually, it came from failures. My first business I failed with was a computer business. I had another consulting business that failed. I was always failing. And I found myself, God, I was failing. And I wasn't having fun. And I said, this is crazy. Why am I living a life where I'm doing everything like everybody said I should do it? And I'm not succeeding. And I'm not having fun. And I'm doing this, so maybe 30 years from now I'm going to have fun. That's a maybe. So I'm going to bust my ass and be miserable for 30 years to maybe have fun. There's no guarantee. So I said, that's nonsense. Why would anybody live that way? So I said, I'm going to flip it around. I'm going to have fun today.
Okay.
And then my fun today, if I fail, it doesn't matter. I'm already having fun. Why be miserable for 30 years to maybe have fun? If you have fun today, you're way ahead of the game. Anything you do is really like a detail, because we're all, planning some. And so that's why. So and when things start failing, you have to. The way to success, I think, is digging within yourself. I mean, external information and experts, they're helpful, but not really in a way. They're just little guideposts and, flap you this way or that way. But the real life comes from what's inside you. Because if you go find that, then you'll find what you're better at than anybody else. You can't be good at something if you're trying to copy somebody else. They're good at that. They're natural at that. You got to find what's natural for you, because then you'll be better than anybody else out there, because that's natural. You're a natural basketball player or whatever, but if you try to play football, you're not going to be so good.
And we take that from someone who's walked on this planet for 8 decades.
Right. I still fight that. You have to fight it because our whole society wants to tell you what to do. And so and actually when I started looking inside me, this is me, how I feel inside. So if I put it on the outside, it becomes a filter. In other words, if you don't like this, then you don't want to talk to me, and that's great, because I'm not going to like you. So we're saving each other a lot of time.
But we save each other a lot of time. Now, let's go to, I want us to dive into the topic of the day, how to get government grants. But even we go into the points 1, 2, 3, the steps 1, 2, 3. Maybe I'm curious, how did it all begin for you? Because it's something that I know you are passionate on.
Yeah, definitely.
How did it all begin?
Well, actually, helping other people. I was helping. I wanted to make them a living, and so I couldn't convince them. I developed something nobody wanted to buy, so I really was selling my research capabilities. And so I'd sell them to Fortune 500 companies because they'll pay for anything. And so, because I was trying to sell them what I was trying to sell them that nobody wanted to buy was something I called an external management information system. Say, I'm going to monitor the whole world for you, and so you know what to do and things like that. And it was sort of like a clipping service, if you want to, news clipping, what's going on. They didn't want that. So I just said, hey, what do you want to know? So most of these people in business wanted to know about other businesses, or they wanted to know how to grow businesses, how to start businesses, how to buy businesses, all this stuff, money and businesses. So let me go see what I could find. I was in Washington, D.C., and I just go out and do research, like a reporter or something like that. But I'd find government programs that companies could use to start businesses, grow businesses, or do anything, or information on other companies that were all public information that I could go in and find out the insides of all kind of their competitors and things like that. And so I just shocked myself. I didn't know anything about government programs. And just think, wow, the government gives all that. I had no idea. And the government has so many experts that'll tell you how to do business and what, where, whatever. And I would get all this information for free. And then I would sell it to my clients for thousands and thousands of dollars. And after I was helping rich people, I said, God, more people have to know about this. All I'm doing was helping millionaires become billionaires. And that didn't sound like a good life. And where I grew up, I mean, everybody in that town has no idea about these things. They should know about it because they live here in America. You have access to all that. Anybody who lives here has it, not just the rich people. And so that was my mission. And then I said, I can't do consulting because I was charging thousands of dollars for that. So I said, I have to do a book. So I found a book in the government that cataloged most of all these programs. And see, in our government, nothing is copyrighted. So I took that book, I cut and pasted it, didn't write anything. I sent it to New York, a publisher, Penguin Viking. They published it. I went out and did talk shows about it. And it became a New York Times bestseller. And I didn't write anything.
Wow.
Yeah. Didn't write
Wow. That's interesting.
Yeah. See, and that's what excites me about this every day. Anybody could do this. Anybody. And there's money to help. The problem with me now is Google. Google is death to people who don't have money. Google is great if you have money, because you want to buy something, you got a lot of people to help you. But if you need help and you don't have money, you want to start a business, you can't pay your utility bill or things like that. People are struggling, or you can't get that help in Google because you'll get 200 million websites that want to get your money. See, and what you have to do is find the nonprofit organizations and the government office that give money for free. And there's about 800,000 programs. I estimate between 600,000 and 800,000 programs that give money for free to people to do anything. Start a business, get out of debt, buy a home, get a better job, get health care, get free legal help. All those things are free in this country from these 600,000 to 800,000 programs, but they don't advertise. So you never find them in Google or anywhere else. And that's the rub. And people think, oh, I'm going to go to the government, I'll go to Google. You'll never find it there because it's all, and then it's complicated, so you don't know. You have to go to people. In America now, what we have are people in every city and town who all they do is help people with a specific problem. And there's thousands of them. I don't know if you can see that. Can you go online now? Can you?
Yes, I can go online.
Yeah, I want to show you some, but it's in American. I'm not sure, they may not let you in, but let's try. Go to Find Help, FINDHELP.
That's Find Help.
No, findhelp.org, O-R-G. See, all the people that give money for free are O-R-G or G-O-V, government or nonprofits. Did that?
Oh, I am in Europe. It says, sorry,
I see.
you've been
Naughty,
blocked.
naughty,
I think,
naughty. Yeah. I'm sorry, I'm trying to think of
they
what.
block us from the good things. They block
Right.
us. They don't want us to know the good things that are
Right,
there.
exactly. Well, the money for doing things in the States, anyway, I've got to find some other things. I wonder if this,
But because I know there is someone who is watching me
yeah.
from the States.
Oh, they know that.
You can,
Right, yeah, right, okay.
Yeah,
So
they-
okay, let's make sure
they-
they see that, okay? So make sure they go there.
Yeah.
Does anybody have a chat with you?
right now,
Yeah,
I don't see anyone, but I know they will definitely
okay.
watch and they
Okay,
can always
let
comment.
me say them this, findhelp.org, okay? So
Okay.
let's go there, tell them, okay.
Yeah, if you're there, go to findhelp.org.
.org, okay, see if they could go there.
Yes.
Anybody in the
And now,
States?
yes, and tell them what to
Right.
find there.
Okay, when you
And-
go there, you
Okay,
put,
I just put it on the screen.
okay, if you go there, you put in your zip code. Okay, like if I put in my zip code, and I'm gonna go, I'll do it in my zip code and tell you what I get, okay? Findhelp.org. I don't know how to do it, but my zip code is 20009. Okay, now I'll put in, now it says there's 3,879 programs in my zip code that give out free money and help for food, housing, goods, transit, health, money, care, education, work, and legal. So I'm gonna put in financial assistance. You need money to do something? Put in financial. Financing, assistance. Okay, put that in. Okay, now it's searching a little bit. Okay, it comes up with 273 organizations that offer financial assistance for free. That's free money, okay, for you, for you if you live in this city. And it's that way for
We need, hey, everyone else who's watching and is not in the US, we need to go to the US to get the free money.
Right, exactly. So that's the kind of thing
Yeah.
that's here. And actually, if you're from anywhere in the country, world, you could come here and they'll help you start a business here.
Okay.
Yeah, you could immigrate here. There's money to start a business because they want you to create jobs in the country. So if you start a business here, they'll create jobs. And there's organizations here, like even on that you could start. Instead of putting in financial assistance, you could just put in business. And when you put in
Okay.
business, then there's 101 organizations that help you start. Go ahead. what?
Okay, yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
That help you start a business in my zip code. 101, all for free. Counselors, mentors, help you get government contracts, help you get legal advice, help you get your business out of debt, help you find more. They got money to sell your goods overseas. So you want to go, go to Greece to sell something. They'll give you money to go to Greece and get a customer. They'll help you find people in other countries to sell your goods for you. The embassy, if your business is located in America, the embassy will go out and try to find people to represent you, to sell your goods and products in that country. See, all this is
Yeah.
for you to increase your value here in the United States and help our economy. So that's why we give all this money away. Yeah.
So how would one go about it if they are not now in this age and time when we said like we are talking, you're just next door, that means that we are connected on the internet. How would someone go about setting a business there or having a project from there, getting the help from there, even though they are not there,
Right.
to work where they are?
Well,
We
I
have
mean,
such
that's,
a-
you
I hope you
can,
get it.
you can have an agent here and do that.
Okay.
In other words, you have like a shell. It doesn't take much money.
Okay.
And you put it under their name. I mean, that's what I would do if that looks promising to you. And so you could do all the stuff because even you could apply for everything in Greece or wherever you are. but that you would have an address here in the United States, you know,
Okay.
to collect the services or what, and it's all online anyway, so if you have an online business, all right? So as long as you have an address that the headquarters are here, I don't see any wrong. But you have to have somebody go and talk to these people if you want management help and things like that. Or actually, no, they do Zoom too. You could just say, I'm on vacation in Greece, do you have to?
Anything happens.
Right,
Anything happens.
exactly.
Now, the question comes in now because outside of the US, and I don't know whether this happens the way it happens in other parts of the world, because they only show they only show the bad parts of things happening in other parts of the world.
Exactly.
Now, I have seen things happening in the US where we have some homeless people. They don't have anywhere, and they are going through some challenges of every kind. Why, when that help is available, do they stay in that state?
Well, I wish I knew. It's amazing. I mean, it's a chicken and egg. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I help the homeless a lot where I am. I'm friends with a lot of them and whatever. It is, usually people there need more care than anybody is willing to give them. I mean, if you get beat up all your life and whatever, and we try, but then we don't do that. We'd rather send people to the moon.
Or do we still go back to the idea of lack of information? They are not informed
Oh, absolutely,
on where to get the help that they need.
And it takes skill. I mean, and also, boy, you can't just use the internet. I mean, to me, to find real help, you have to talk to people and find the people that help people like you with your situation to find, because the complexity is so complicated out there. The help is, like there's, I mentioned where I live, there's 5,000 organizations, and there's the obvious ones that go to, and they're overworked, and they don't know about the non-obvious. We don't teach people how to research because we think, okay, we go to the internet and we go Google. No, you can't, Or you call one person and they say, no, we have no more money. That doesn't mean everybody doesn't have money. See, I told you there's there's 700 organizations or 273 organizations. So you call one up and ask for money and they say no. You got 272 organizations more to contact. And that's what it is.
Yeah, and so now I get it's not just even walking into an office and saying I want money and they place it on your hand.
Right. No, it isn't.
It doesn't. And this is where we are now. How to get government grants.
Right.
Maybe you've got some 1, 2, 3 points that you can tell someone on how to go about it.
Well,
1, 2, 3.
the magic is no magic. It is perseverance. That's the only thing. I mean, anything new you're going to do in life, you're not going to just, oh, there's a bicycle. I never rode a bicycle. I bet I could do that. You get on it and you'll fall down 10 times, right? Before you learn how to ride a bike. So anything new is like that. When we first started to walk, we fall down a whole bunch of times, and you have to do that. So I think we're all spoiled in a way. We want to do it easy. We want an expert, and I think experts like me are a problem because we try to convince you it's easy. Just buy this, it's easy. You'll be a millionaire next Tuesday, don't worry. and that's false hope. You have to do it. I mean, I justify doing it because I got to get your attention. If I can't get your attention, I can't teach you anything. But it really is, you have to persevere, and it's not going to be easy, and you have to be dogged about it. You have to want it. That's why, to me, I think life is realizing your heart is smarter than your brain. So many of us want to be smart, so we want to know the answer. We want to know the magic, call the experts. Now, to get things to really happen, you have to feel it from the heart. And the same as a personal relationship. You know, oh, he's rich, he's this, or okay, then I guess I could love him. But your heart's not there. And the first time they piss you off, you're out of there. You know, I'm not going to put up with it. So that's why, if your heart is there in a personal relationship or a professional thing you're trying to do, you will stay for the bad times. And you will get through that because you want to do that. And there are always going to be bad times, and nobody gets out of this thing without being shit on in life. You know, we're humans, and humans are a target. The world is going to you're here for the world to shit on you.
What's the worst experience that you've had, or maybe what's the worst failure that you can remember? Because you talked about failures, and I know you've got a lot of lessons on failure.
Well, I don't know. God, I mean, I've been, busted 3-4 times. I lost millions of dollars because I put on this suit. So all those things are bad, but I don't see them as bad. I see them as, they're the only times you grow. If nothing's bad had happened to you, you're not growing. You're going nowhere, And that means you're not stretching. That means, just, you're not, and we're organic. We're here to grow. And we're like a flower or a tree or anything else. We have to grow. So if you're not trying to grow, it's not going to be much of a life, as I could see. I mean, I'm sure there's exceptions or whatever. I don't know. But you have to grow. Look for the bad things. I keep looking for them because I want to enjoy them again. And actually, at this life, I don't worry about eating. In the beginning, you're so worried about eating, and everything is more precious to you. And that's why it sounds devastating. But I think, to me, I always felt, and I would give away things just to see if I could do it again. Just
to see if you can do it again.
Yeah. Yeah, because if it was an accident, or is it really me, that's doing that thing? Or I hate to be in, what do you call it, somebody else control my life at all. So even if the good things happen to me, I worry, is this really because of me or not? Well, maybe I'll give it all away and see if I could do it again.
Interesting perspective. Now, it's not only about failure that you've been through, but I know that you have succeeded in several areas. Which could be your most interesting, most inspiring achievement in your life that you remember?
Most
or someone
inspiring.
reminds you of?
Yeah. Well, I've done more than I ever thought. I had low expectations. If you keep your bar low, you could reach those. They're in reach. But no, I mean, the first time I did a national TV show, I think it was Good Morning America. Wow, I thought, oh, wow. But really, and then I would see, then I realized in retrospect how shallow that is. Because I go home and I call all my friends, and I got a New York Times bestseller. I mean, I flunked English in college, so to me to be a New York Times bestseller, so I come home after that and I call all my friends and brag, and then I try to find those cheerleaders that never went out with me in high school, and stuff like that, and tell them about me. But then it's over, and that's why it's what you do every day. The things that really were surprising to me than anything else is having children. They're the only thing I found that's better than I ever thought it would be. Everything else, by the time I get it, I always wanted $1 million company, finally got it after all the failures and everything. No, big deal, like being on those big shows or a New York Times bestseller, big deal, but having children. And the thing in life is having something to do every day that you think is important and you think is contributing to somebody else. Now I feel the most important thing in life is giving. And I think it's important to give, not for other people, not that you're making the world better, but because it makes you feel so good. It's giving
agree
is
with you.
is
I agree with
selfish.
you.
It's the most selfish thing in the world. Is giving. It makes you feel so good.
That's interesting. The most selfish thing in the world is giving.
Yeah.
Wow. 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 Wonderful. Wonderful. It's really good hearing all this from you. And we are very honored that you came to this show.
It's just me. I'm struggling through life like everybody else. That's why I think nobody should give advice to anybody. I mean, you could tell you what happened to you, but we're all struggling. Everybody thinks, oh, you tell me what to do. Nah, I don't know what to do with my own life. Every day I worry about that. What gives me the audacity to tell somebody else to do something with their life? To me, what you do if you love somebody is you help them do what they want to do, not what you want them to do. That's what love is, because we're all so different. We can't do that. And we're all struggling in life. We don't know what to do. So the real magic in life is helping loved ones do what they want to do. Whatever it is, they want your opinion. Yeah, you think they're fucking nuts. Yeah, tell them, but I'll help you do it.
Because I had someone say that if you want to solve your problems, then you better find as many people who have problems and help them.
Right.
You find your problem gone. I don't know how to use that.
Absolutely. Very, very much so. Or there was an old saying like that I heard, in the Turkish bazaar or something. Everybody puts their problems on a piece of paper and they trade them on. And at the end of the day, they want their own problems back instead of the ones they traded with. Yeah.
Wow, wow. Wow, so we are almost coming to the end of this episode. But before we get off, please tell us about your group, about your
It's called
that you put together. Because for those people who are in the US right now, as I think of how to get to the US, tell us.
It's leskohelp.com, leskohelp.com. And what we have there is 15,000 people that help each other get government grants. So it's people helping people. And every day we have 3, 4, 5 hours of people on Zoom calls. You can join any of them and ask questions from people who just got the money. So not me, I'm like the trained SEAL. I don't apply for grants anywhere, but the people who apply every day, they share with you how they got it. And that, I think, is valuable. And it's only $20. I mean, instead of charging tens of thousands of dollars I used to, I'm doing this for $20. And I can't believe it because we're also making money. And we're making profits. And so what we do is give the profits back. So every month we give $50,000 to $70,000 back to members in individual grants for people, $500 to $1,000 every month. And we have 4 different grants we give out. People need money for anything, or we have one for car repair because people need cars in this country to get around and work, or one to pay rent. And then we also give free laptop computers. A lot of people in this country still try to do everything on the phone, and it's hard to apply for all these kinds of things. So we give 30 free laptop computers every month too. So that's $50,000 to $70,000 a month, and I thought I could never be able to do that. I thought you had to be Jeff Bezos or, or his ex-wife to do something like this. But now a kid like me from Wilkes-Barre could do it too. So that's giving.
Wow. Yeah, that's wonderful. So you start with what you have to give.
Absolutely. That's right.
Give it. Yeah, so that's wonderful, and thank you for sharing that with us.
Pleasure.
So for those in the US, and or those who will be going to the US soon, please, you can always sign up at leskohelp.com.
You bet.
And jump there and connect with all the people. So that's about it. And we thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, so we are signing off. This has been Now Tell Us, and I have been your host, Anthony Morore, together with our guest, Matthew Lesko. We're saying bye for now. Yeah, so I have ended the live broadcast. That's what is going to be shared there.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so
Yeah.
much. You're a sweet guy. Thank you for being there and doing this.
Yeah, I appreciate. I kept on. I mean, a few things kept on coming, so I had to postpone this
Ah,
and that.
right.
In the first place, because I saw a request to host you, and I was like, "Am I really?" And then I also had ideas of getting grants, and I said maybe this is a sign from yeah, that
You never
that
know.
we
Yeah,
should get connected with
right.
Matthew, and I learn a few things here and there.
Great. Well, I hope it
Yeah,
was helpful and to your members
it,
too.
it was.
Right.
Yeah, for example, there's this work now. I can tell you this because maybe
Uh-huh.
I guess you have some 5 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah, go ahead. What?
Yeah, so there's this workbook that I am
Oh, that
sharing.
one.
I share
Oh,
with
Achieve Your
the
Dream.
one that at
Uh-huh.
the back.
Right.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
Achieve Your Dream is a
Work,
workbook.
yeah.
So it has got the 7 ingredients for success. So I hold workshops and share this workbook with the people. And then a coach, a personal development coach, saw me sharing this. She went through it and said, "Oh, this is a wonderful book,
Yeah.
and as many people as possible should have it." And then the idea came, maybe I can get sponsors of this workbook so we
Uh-huh.
can get it to as many people as possible. And when I told her that, she said, "Oh, I'll be the first one to support it."
All right.
So she
Oh,
so
wonderful.
she gave me she sponsored for some copies to be given
I
out
see.
to people.
Oh, nice.
So I am welcome for ideas to get this workbook to maybe millions of people. If someone, I would get a grant from somewhere
Yeah.
so that we can inspire people to go after their big dreams and achieve them.
Well, you're where you are. I don't know the information structure there. Yeah.
Yeah.
If oh gosh, see here, I could point you to dozens of people that will sit down with you and help you
Yeah.
think through that. I mean, that's to me. I think that the finding grants from foundations is probably from where you are, but now that's a bigger. What I would do first is do a crowdfunding campaign.
Okay.
Yeah, first in anything. But now
Mhm.
it's easy to set it up. They're free. But what you need is an idea. Why would people help that? Why would people want to give you money to distribute that? So as a you know what? Are you a nonprofit?
I have not registered a nonprofit yet. Just
Because that may be,
myself.
because Google gives out $10,000 a month to nonprofits
Okay.
to market. So if you had a crowdfunding site that could give out free books, okay, to people who need it, I guess that's what you want, or I don't know, you want to sell them or whatever. But as
Please give them out would
Okay.
be the best.
yeah,
That's
well,
what.
then as a nonprofit, or just work with a nonprofit. Don't become a nonprofit. Find a nonprofit friend, and work it through them so you don't have to do it, because have him get the money to sell that book
Okay.
using money from Google to go online and to market your crowdfunding site. So crowdfunding site, give money, you want to give money, to sell, the people really need it around the world, okay? And so that's a good thing. Everybody wants to do something like that, so that would be good. But marketing to get people to your site is the hardest thing. So
Yeah.
if you get marketing money from Google, wow, that's $10,000 a month. Yeah. To get people to your crowdfunding site. That's
Okay.
But it's being a nonprofit. So check around there that you have a friend somewhere as a nonprofit, so you could run this through. And
Okay.
and you give them some of the money.
Yeah, it's always
Right, exactly.
some.
Yeah.
There's always going to be some give and take at some
Exactly,
point.
right, that kind of thing. Or if you
Yeah.
want to do it, maybe even in Greece, if you have theirs, a nonprofit that is helping people, the kind of people you want to help, that you could come with this idea with them, you know, and do it in conjunction. So you work with somebody down the street, because you could do this from anywhere as long as they're a nonprofit. And Google is nationwide, so it doesn't matter where your nonprofit is. Yeah. So first thing would be to look at Google. And I think it's called Google Grants, Grants.
Okay.
And see what that
I
is.
will. I will look at that and see how it works. And thank you for that.
You bet.
Yeah, let me not keep you.
Okay.
We'll catch up sometime in the future. I don't know.
Don't wait too long. I only got about 10 years left, so that's
I follow you on TikTok. Maybe we can, because at some point I was suggesting maybe we can do a live on TikTok, because on TikTok you have quite a following.
I see.
Maybe live on TikTok.
Yeah, I do. When I do this, like here, I'll turn TikTok live on, and so they can see me sometimes. But
was it not on now?
No, not this.
Yeah. So I follow you on TikTok, and we'll see.
Oh, good. We good? I gotta run. You okay?
Okay. Have a wonderful day.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you for your time. Bye.
Bye. Thank you. Yeah.
I don't know how to get out of this.
I can get you out.
Oh, there it is. Good.
Okay, bye.
Okay, YouTubers, maybe I can answer some questions while I'm here. Oh, I lost it. Okay, let's see, on YouTube. Anybody have any questions? Okay, let's see, on YouTube. Let's see. David Penner, hello, Wisconsin. A lady told me that she received 2 checks today from Social Security. I can't be true because the 3rd, June 8th. Don't know. If you're worried about, I mean, there's a lot of scams about Social Security that people, you know, try to tell you that. You call Social Security or call your elected official. If you're worried about what Social Security, you know, you're getting all you need, call your Social Security office, or here, call your elected official. I'll put it in the chat here. It's 202-224-3121. That's the Capitol Hill switchboard, okay? And you call them, and you give them your address, and they'll hook you up with, you have 2 senators and a congressman. So you could call all 3 of them until you get one that helps you. And grants to scale my bookkeeping business. Okay. What I would do is go to this, americassbdc.org. Go to that and put in your zip code, and you'll see locally nonprofit organizations that'll help you grow your business, no matter what your business is, or nonprofit, or even if you're an inventor. And they'll sit down with you. And you have more people like that in where you live, and you could find them. Nonprofit organizations that give counseling and mentorship and never charge you a penny. So remember, never go to Google to find free help, okay? Always go somewhere else. Okay, who else in it? Love your outfit, thanks. The guy who records his videos and pretends he's live. I am live, what the hell? I may be not live with you. I let you eavesdrop to find out the, I think you're great personality, great attitude towards life. No, I don't worry about all those who don't think that you're good. Oh, Jack, I'm used to that now. It's just, what worries me more is that they're discouraging other people from trying something. and that's too bad. So they're really hurting people, I think. Thank you for channeling helping others. Is there a financial aid to get braces for your teeth? Yeah, okay, any dental here, here's where you go. You go to needy, needymeds.org. Okay, you go to needymeds.org, and when you're there, look on the left-hand side on top, there's tabs, and they have savings. There's a tab called savings, and then you'll find free and low-cost dental, okay? So that's a place to start. There's a lot of things to do. If you remember Let's Go Help, we got a full report of about a dozen or so places to keep checking, but that's a good place to start. He is not the apprentice. That is loose leaves leave money trees. Ooh, nice. The guy records his videos and pretends he's like, I don't know what that is. Thanks for all your helpful. Thank you. Who else? Who else needs help? Sonic Boom. This guy needs one of them back beauty pills. I don't know what that means. Black Beauty Biden. I don't know. Yeah, Biden and I are about the same age. Yeah, he's Savil's brother. Does the government still give out grants even when you're almost 40 trillion? Yes, unfortunately, that's what keeps us in debt. Is they keep giving out grants. There are two different things: debt and grants. Grants are laws that have to give it out, and even with Trump trying to get rid of some of them, they're still too much for anybody to stop. So don't let that stop you. If you need money to help with your daily living expenses or almost anything, start here. Go to findhelp.org. You want to go there, then put in your zip code, okay? I need colonoscopy supplies. I need help. Yes. Go to findhelp.org. I was just listening to a report today about there's nonprofit organizations that give out medical supplies like that, and about 70% are not useful. Findhelp.org. Okay, put in your zip code, and then put in medical supplies, or just medical. See what happens. Let me try that. Let's see. That's the colonoscopy. COLOSTOM. I can't spell for beans. So we're going to do that. We're going to get there. I'm going to go in my zip code. See, when you go to find out, I'm going to put in my zip code, put that, and I'm going to put in colonoscopy. See what's there. COLOSTOMY. See if there's anything. Sorry we couldn't find anything, okay. Yeah, but maybe medical supplies. So you gotta go broader then. Okay, there's 56 for medical supplies. So some of this may even not be for you, but see, they're also, they're everybody who has medical supplies for free to people, you know, they will know other people that maybe have supplies for colonoscopy. Like here's one that's a veteran's lift seat, you know, for toilet seats and things like that. So even you don't need a lift seat for the toilet, but you need the colonoscopy, but call them anyway and see how they might be able to help you. That's how you get help. Now I found that. Okay, oh, here we are. Oh, no, that's something. Oh, I see, that's right. Not that. Where did you go? That's so funny. I can't find YouTube anymore. Where the heck? I know you're in here. I know you're in here somewhere, and all my tabs are open up. I went to open another tab, and now I lost you. I lost it. On the way, I lost it. Oh, I see, because it's on my computer. It's on my phone. That's too bad. Okay, so I gotta do it. YouTube. Okay. Okay, my channel on YouTube, and what is that too? Okay, there you are. Okay, I found it again. So let's see the chat. Anybody else? Love your outfits. Thank you. As a new food processor, can I get any assistance in setting up my farm? Yes, there's a lot of government offices that want to do that and help you. What I would do is rdusda.gov. Okay. Okay, here. You want to go to this office of rural development, okay? Here it is. Go to this link and find your state and make an appointment. You have to make an appointment with people to get help. You just don't, look for a form to fill out. No, make an appointment, talk to them, okay? Okay, Hendricks, you got that? And B. Hendricks, that's for your fit. Love the outfits. Next predator be exposed. Hi, what's good? And nigga, I don't know what that is. Chad Warner, no thanks. How do I get free money? Well, you have to apply for it. Okay, and a good place to start is findhelp.org. And then put in your zip code, and then put in what your money for, and start calling people. You're not gonna get anything until you start calling people. So don't think you're just gonna go to a website, fill out an application, and Santa will arrive. No, Santa's not there. By the way, Santa's not real either. So don't get sucked in. And by the way, if you want help, okay, what I've been doing is helping people for 50 years now. Get government money. And I have a new service now that's $20 a month with unlimited one-on-one help to apply to every grant you're eligible for. But we have a special offer now called letsgodollar.com. You could join us for $1 and get 5 days of unlimited help to apply to every grant you're eligible for, okay? So 5 days, unlimited help to apply to every grant you're eligible for. And that's, we have live people taking your questions 4 or 5 hours a day to help you apply and get the money you need. And we also give out grants, but as a $1 a 5-dayer, you can't apply for our grants. If you stay for $20 a month, then you could apply for our grants. So that's available to people. And also, you can ask us 100 questions a day if you like. Adversary, I don't know what that, anniversary core, I don't know what that is. There's somebody chatting there. Well, anybody have any more questions? But don't forget, if you want our help, 15,000 members that help each other get government grants. So it's not so much just me, it's the 15,000 members that help each other get grants, okay? And live, one-on-one help. See you soon, guys. Thank you. How do you get out of this thing? Oh, it's up here.